Hello, hello, one and all. This is Peter Palmiotti of Human Art Studio, and this is the latest episode of Comics and Art. I think number 34. I might have misnumbered a past episode. Anyway, that doesn't matter because Marshall's here. Hey,
Hey,
Marshall.
how's it going?
It's going okay.
Mhm.
Um, it's I took a couple of days off. I've sort of I don't know if you know the latest. I have a day job, but it's kind of uh, I go there when they have stuff to do or aren't distracted by other things. Um, and it's become I thought it would be a regular thing, but it's not so much. But so let's see if we could fix that, or I may just dive deep into my art and because I need something regular, and if it's not
Yeah,
regular, it's a hindrance. Um,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
what's the latest? Let's see. So Jeff Lafferty, I don't know if you've been keeping track of what he's up to, is taking a little
Uh,
bit of a hiatus.
yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Guess
He's
he's
got
moving
a
or something.
Yep. He's got a new home. He'll be moving into. He was doing the 100 Days of Making Comics. Got up to day 71. Announced, yeah, he'll be focusing on moving, which I totally understand.
Yeah,
Um,
he's been in
but
the
that's
same place for a long time. So
yeah,
hopefully it's a good, positive move.
yeah. So I have one cat in my house, and he's in the bathroom. I don't know if you hear it. Probably not,
No, I
but
didn't
he
hear
loves he loves open cabinets, and he's trying to open the bathroom cabinet right now.
that. Nice.
Yeah. Um,
How many cats
but
do you have
yeah.
these days?
The latest is I got essentially all my cats back, but so I had six here at one point, which was insane. Um, there was my cat Thumper, which uh, we're using as the name of one of our characters in the book we're working on. He actually
Hmm.
has. He went back to his family because that was a friend of mine who separated from his wife, but they got back together, and their neighbor's daughter um, came across Thumper outside and fell in love with him. So he's living with her now.
All right.
So that's really nice to hear that the little girl was totally enthralled with Thumper, and Thumper is friend to all. So he's got a great new home. Um, my other cat, I had a black cat, Raven, and she was staying at the farm. Um, but she's a bit of a mostly outdoor cat, and she was originally um, a stray that was going to Lisa's home before she moved, and so she was at the farm and she escaped. So now she's out in the country somewhere, probably much happier. she she can never be contained, so she's out and about in the country somewhere. So I'm down to four, and I have them all back home. I had two here recently, and was missing the other two, so everybody's back home. Um, and it's a challenge to get work done with them here, but at the same time, it's just I just missed them. And it was like, I have some cats here, I have some cats out in the farm, and you know, I'm sure this is highly interesting to all my listeners. But
Cats in the
hey,
internet
Crimson
are like
Hollow
peanut butter
Comics.
and jelly.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Ronnie? So what you drawing?
I am inking another page of, let's see, this is page 14 of Retro Issue 1, and penciled by my friend Rich Fisha, and I'm inking issue, obviously, I'm the creator, writer, inker, and eventually publisher. I'll be self-publishing in this
And
for
I'm the
anybody who
colorer.
doesn't know already.
And I'm the
Yeah,
colorer.
colorer. Yep.
So, speaking about that, where are we at with pages? Have you put more pages in the thingy?
I have not put more pages in the thingy, but I was um, busy off paying off my big bills, and I got to order some supplies to sort of finish pages. With all the backgrounds and whatnot, I do use my technical pens, and I gotta get some stuff for my rapidiographs, because one point is gone and the other one might be gone, or it's just the I gotta get more ink cartridges and yada yada yada. But sometime soon. I mean, this month has flown by, and I thought I would be much further along. But man, it's part of it is life. Part of it is like seriously the COVID, the whole stupid COVID thing is getting to me sometimes. Um, it's a real stressor. Um, but I think next month I'll definitely put money towards my supplies and finish off a batch of pages, because I've been like inking figure work and whatnot, and to just go in and ink some backgrounds is really the easy stuff. So we'll
Really?
be moving forward with all that.
So, is that the main thing that's holding you back? Is money to buy supplies?
Um, yeah, I mean, because uh, I was working full time with a day job, but that's like slowed down, and um, I'm only needed here and there, so
Yeah,
I could focus more of my time on this.
gotcha. Um, but you have actually completed more pages than I've colored, I think, correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to go into the thing and check out what you got in there and see if I got anything I haven't put in there. Did I
Hmm.
put the cover in there? I forget now.
I feel like you have, but I forget to.
Because
I thought I colored that already, but maybe not. Hmm.
yeah, I mean, if you did, I haven't seen it, but um,
Cool. Well,
yeah,
I'll have to get going on some of that stuff. I'm probably keeping the pause button on Big Wrath for now. I actually before we were on, I was uh, digging into goal setting a little bit.
right.
I like the method that there's a guy named Dave Ramsey. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he's he teaches. He's like a Christian guy, but it doesn't really matter because he teaches people how to like get out of debt and build wealth and stuff like that. And it's just very
Okay.
basic
Yeah.
principles on how to get into a better situation. And but he also talks about other things too. One of the things he has like kind of a method that he uses for goal setting and stuff. And I was just like, you know what? I mean, honestly, I've been uh, I've been in a tough situation lately, and I'm starting to finally get back to the place of actually working on projects. Um, and you know, this idea of having a career like is never going to happen if I don't put goals and timelines and stuff on it. So that's what I'm trying to get serious about right now. And I have some ideas and I'm trying to figure them out. But the thing that Dave Ramsey says, as far as goal setting, I'm gonna just gonna go with his kind of methodology because the other things he's taught has served me well. So I'll go with this too. But he has 5 things for a goal, and one is to be specific. It can't be just like I want to lose weight. It's got to be like I want to lose a specific amount of pounds. How much weight do you want to lose? The second one would be like measurable. So how much weight do you want to lose? So may say it's like, 30 pounds or something. You got to name it. So same thing with like, comics and stuff. And then the third is like time, put a time limit on it. This is like a huge part of it. You put a time limit on it. And then what happens is once you put like a date or whatever, a deadline, then you work your way back. I mean, this is a lot of us have talked about these kind of things before, so I'm sure it's not anything new to people who are watching, but I'm reviewing it and going over it again right now to try to get back into it. And so you put that time limit on it and then you work your way back to now and you see how much, do I need to do in a month, a week, a day, and then now you know how much you need to do every day. And then the fourth one is they have to be my goals. Like they can't be a goal that like you like if you want to be like a doctor, if like your parents want you to be a doctor but you want to do underwater basket weaving, you need to do underwater basket weaving. um, because I mean obviously you want realistic things that are going to be helpful to your life or whatever, but you can't do something that somebody else wants you to do because it just won't happen. And I'm definitely have learned that through my life. And then the fifth and last one is just to write it down. It's kind of a two-part goal a little bit, but write it down, post it like on the wall somewhere, and tell a few people so that you have a little bit of accountability, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start, usually I think a lot of people think about this at the beginning of the year. I am going to prepare for the beginning of the year, but I don't want to wait 3 months to work on goals.
Right.
So, or 4 months actually, right? How many months do we have left? I don't know. But anyways, um,
6.
so I'm going to try to come up with something that can move me towards that career of comics with it, to get me started in the next 4 months. So that's why I said like Big Wrath is kind of on pause for me right now because I really need to focus on things that are going to move me directly towards that. And Big Wrath will move me towards that for sure, but I need something a little bit more immediate, and I already kind of know what I want to do. So, I'm still working it out, but I want to do it because I can't, just trying to sit here and be like, well, I want to be a comic book artist or I want to be a comic, have a career in comics. And if I'm not doing any specific things to get to that goal, like it's just not going to happen. Like, yes, I will make progress and I will have learned a bunch of things, but I'm not going to actually move towards that actual point,
No, absolutely. You said Dave Ramsey. That's his name.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew he was a financial guy. I thought maybe it is a Dave Ramsey in comics. Um, but
no.
it's so true. It's like yes, that's like one of I wouldn't say easiest, but like the most logical way is to, like set your goal and work backwards and figure out what you need to do daily, the little steps that will get you there. And you were recently on Jeremy's channel, and he on yours, and you had some great, great, great conversations. And I think one of them was you were talking about like that, putting together that collection of short stories you've already done as a
Yeah.
book. To have like, hey, this is all my work. This is what I've done, and that would be awesome. Whether
Yeah.
that's your first or whatever.
Yeah, you're kind of reading my mail with that one. That's where my head is at right now. I mean, there's some other things that I'm doing too that'll be in the background, kind of to prepare for next year. But that's pretty much where I'm headed. It's not. I did kind of say like it's going to be all the stuff I've made until now, and I don't think that's going to be the case. It's probably going to be like 4 stories or something, and some bonus content. And it's, I don't know, I'm still working it out, but I think it's very doable, and I'd like to do that. This is what I'm thinking right now, but I literally just started thinking about it like a half an hour before I came on here. So it's all subject to change. But I would like to put the thing together and get it, like do an Indiegogo this year, finish it, get it all shipped by the end of this year. Like that's what I want to do. And that'll be like my test Indiegogo crowdfunder thing, because I've never done one by myself. I've been involved in a few here and there, but I've never done one. I mean, I did a Kickstarter way back, like on one of the first year, like the first or second year Kickstarter existed. I did one for my hip hop album Solar Wind Theory, but that's a whole world away. That was a long time ago. And it's a whole different world right now, the way things are going. And I really want to like have that kind of test comic Kickstarter. And then I think next year I'm probably going to have a few. I always say Kickstarter when I really mean Indiegogo or crowdfunder, but I think next year I'll probably have a few crowdfunders, to be honest, because I'm not making all the comics 100%. A lot of them I'm writing, and having people do the work and stuff. So, we'll see how it goes.
That's a smart way to go. I see more and more creators who are just writers, and they're hiring people, and they get a lot more books out faster. You know,
Yeah,
so that makes a lot of sense.
it's nice when you don't have to do absolutely everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially anything in regards with the art, it's like takes time, and if you're like, my focus is elsewhere as well as retro. It's not just retro. Otherwise, I would have had this done by now. You know, I got a
Yeah, you and
graphic
I have a
novel.
similar vision when it comes to what we want to do. We both want to like put out creator-owned work and kind of under a specific, like you have your human art studio, I have my Donkey Jaw projects, thing.
Yeah, but it will happen. I mean, it sounds good what you got planned, and if it changes, it changes. But um, yeah, so much has changed even in the last year as far as crowdfunders, and it's like, and it doesn't matter what you say, is Kickstarter, Indiegogo. I'm sure there's others out there. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's good to test the water and see where your fan base, your audience is at towards
Yeah,
your project and stuff.
and I think it's appropriate because I think the Indiegogo for the like the anthology, like it's a good place to start. I'm going to start small. This is just the first anthology. I plan on this being something that I always do, it's something I just really believe in, is the anthology kind of thing. I talked a lot about it actually on Jeremy's channel last night. And you know, so I'm happy about that, and it's gonna be like I said, like a small one. Like I'm not trying to get super fancy. We're not doing foil covers and hard covers and crazy
Right.
like that. I mean, there will be like stretch goals and stuff, but I'm not trying to go nuts with it. I think about that, and I think like I really love seeing where crowdfunding is taking people. But I see some of these big ones from like some of the bigger people, and they just go nuts with the add-ons and stuff, and that's great and all. I think that's cool, but I really just want people to read my stories. Like I don't need all the flash, you know. Yeah, we can throw on a bookmark, some stickers, some cool things, like things that are appropriate to what I'm creating, but I want to be a little more creative with it. I don't want to just do the typical like, okay, well now we're gonna have like foil cover. Now we're gonna have half embossed and half this and like it's just like no, I don't know. I don't think that really adds that much value. I just want to bring a good story.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like, me and you both have watched a lot of what Peter Samedi is up to,
Yeah,
and he is always pushing like merchandise, and I totally believe in that. Like, if you're going to be sort of your own business, whatever form that might take, it's good to have, like t-shirts and coffee mugs and pens or whatever. It's like items to sell to sort of finance the real true element of what you want to do, which is the comics and stuff. um, so when like a Kickstarter or a crowdfunder has multiple items on it, um, it makes sense to a certain degree, but yeah, it should be more about the comic, and that really should be um, what people are going there for.
yeah. And I mean, honestly, I think I'm just a little bit like ready to like tackle it. So like I might come off across a little bit as edgy with that, but like I don't mind. Like I said, I really don't mind people doing that with all the extra. What are you gonna do when you get to like hundreds of thousands of dollars? Like, okay, you
Yeah.
gotta find something else to add to it. I get it, and it is fun, and it does. It brings some excitement to the campaign and stuff. So I totally get it. That's not where I'm at right now, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think about like the earlier days of Marvel, and like like the extras they had back when, which is like you could join the fan club of Marvel. The Marvel marching. I forget what the hell they would call it. Like
Yeah,
they had all this
the
all this
Mary
like,
Marvel marching.
yeah. It's like it's quirky little fun stuff, and yeah, it was totally aimed towards kids, but we're all fans, and if we like what creators are putting out there, it's like, yeah, I want the little sticker or the pin, um, with the character's name on it, or whatever the case may be, because we
Yeah.
can geek out.
Yeah, for sure. I take a lot of influence and inspiration from Stanley, and
Oh yeah.
people who hype things up. I definitely want to do that. I want that. Like, I'm actually really excited about some of the ideas I have to kind of get that kind of thing going. But right now it's like when I made my first comic, like I just had to make a freaking comic, like a mini comic, whatever. Like I had to make something, I had to finish something, because otherwise it's it's just never going to happen. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I've done the mini comics thing, I've done the anthology thing, as far as having things in other people's anthologies or whatever, and I still
Right.
will probably do those things. Like, I really love doing those things, but it's time for me to start having some substantial building of an actual career. I'm kind of done playing games when it comes to that.
No, I totally hear you. I mean, it's I've definitely played in everybody else's sandbox, and I feel you.
Mhm.
Eventually you want to show what you got going on. I'm like I've been working on my story for the novel for your second anthology, because I want to pencil more stuff, and I figured, let me jump in on that and get a story in there, because I want to improve my work. And it's like that I've been focusing on the past whatever number of years, like just doing more penciling. Um, and the anthology is like, I was part of book 2 of the D100 anthology, and that's like, okay, let me do some finish work. It's like penciling is one thing, but penciling and inking a story is a whole different skill set. And I was asked to do a story for another anthology, and then so far it's only one chapter I did. I don't know. The guy's figuring out the finances, but I got a pin up. I got to get to him. Um, but yeah, just to do little bits here and there to do more finished work is important for my stepping stone. Because then I got a number of short stories I'll be doing for myself in my own books. So by the time I get to, retro issue 2, I'll be doing full pencils and inks. I'll be a little more prepared to, pencil out a story. I know all the logical steps and what needs to be done, but it's just a matter of, actually having a little bit of work under my belt in that department, as
Mm,
opposed to just inking stuff or whatever.
yeah. Well, that's good, man. That'll be cool to see some more penciled things from you. And I mean, you have created some penciled things. I've seen them. So it's not like you haven't done it. At least you've given it a shot in a few different times.
Yeah, I've seen the improvement of my work, um, especially over the last batch of years, and I know I could take it so much further.
This one's pretty
And
cool. Am I showing it here? It's
yeah, I
non.
see
Here we go.
it.
This was done by Peter Palmiotti in
Yeah,
2012.
that's right.
Pretty cool. Here's looking at you,
Thanks.
kid. Pretty awesome, man. I've always had it up in my like studio area, since
Oh,
since
I
I got
really
it.
that it's funny. That was part of remember Google Plus?
Yeah, yeah. Remember MySpace and Google Plus and
Well, back when the sort of my early time on Google Plus, I was asked to participate in a live event by like the Google people running it, and I did that piece for that, like, sort of show.
yeah.
It's funny. I remember that. Um, and it's like Google knows me. They know who I am.
Yeah. Yeah, and Google's a creepy little bastard.
Yeah, well, they disappeared. Yeah, like MySpace and many
Yeah.
others.
Check out what else I got in the mail today. Let's see. I gotta look at the screen. I got a couple cool comics in the mail.
Man,
Woo!
boys.
Can't wait to read these bad boys. They're so
Nice.
big. I didn't realize they're like magazine size.
Yeah, everybody's been remarking about. I guess that's A4. That's like British comic size A4.
Yeah.
Which is our magazine size. Um, very very cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've had Carl on my channel. I got to get him back on here just to chit chat. But yeah, he's super talented, and what I've seen, I haven't picked up my copies yet, but he's got it on demand on his Indiegogo page.
Yeah. I'm supposed to. I'm gonna be having him on Saturday morning. Let's see what time. I forget now. 9 or somewhere around 9 a.m. probably Saturday morning. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Hey Anna, welcome. Oh cool, this is live. Yes.
Hey, Anna. EJ, what's up?
EJ, welcome. Anna goes, Google knows all. Yes.
I feel comforted that there's a social media network and company, tech company out there watching my every move.
Yeah, not everybody thinks so, but
Yeah,
I'm sure you're tongue in cheek a little bit. But
yeah. There's no sarcasm going on here.
no sarcasm.
Nice. All right. So, I'm just looking at what's trending on Twitter for no good reason at all. It's all garbage.
Well, did you hear the latest news? Okay, so I don't. Did I mention on this show? I forget. Probably. The whole fiasco with Warner Brothers. AT&T bought Warner Brothers, and they fired so many people. Um, specifically, they fired, I think, 600 people at DC Comics alone.
Dang.
Um, and DC going forward is going to be a much different DC. They're no longer with Diamond. They're no longer going to be publishing monthly comics. There will be digital versions of monthlies, but no printed versions. And
Only be printing Batman.
yeah, um,
No, I'm
but
just joking.
they they got the fandom coming up Saturday, which is like their version of San Diego Comic-Con at home, and so they'll be leaking a lot of information, but they leaked this. Well, I guess at lunchtime today that in the Flash movie, Ben Affleck is going to be Batman.
Huh.
So he'll be returning as Batman, just as far as we know, just for the Flash movie, which will also have Michael Keaton as Batman as well.
There's going to be two Batman actors.
Well, it's going to be like a Flashpoint story.
Ah,
So it'll be Flash going through different universes or dimensions or something or another. So should be fun. I mean, I love Michael Keaton, and to see him as Batman again would be awesome.
Yeah, I guess you're never too old to play the Bat.
No, I mean, if he's dressed up as Batman, I don't know if he's going to be actually Batman, or is he going to be Bruce Wayne? I don't know, an older Bruce Wayne. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Um, but if you're dressed up as Batman, then just your mouth is showing, right?
yeah.
So,
I don't even know how old he is. I haven't seen a picture of him in a long time, but I'm sure he's got more wrinkles than he did.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's getting up there. He's '60s,
He's my
whatever.
favorite Batman, so I'll be cool. I'll be interested to check it out.
I'm Batman.
It's weird though, like you could tell though, like I don't know. I feel like me saying that could shows that I'm not really a huge Batman fan because Michael Keaton kind of plays Michael Keaton in everything. um, and I mean, he plays other characters, but there's always that Michael Keaton ness to him, and there still was definitely with Batman. So, but I like it.
Yeah, I thought he was really good in a movie called The Founder,
Yeah.
which was that was like sort of the origin story of McDonald's,
Hmm.
and the, he wasn't necessarily a nice guy there,
Hmm.
so yeah, I thought that was really good.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes, yes.
Let's see. What else is there to talk about?
um. Well, what else do I want to talk about? I don't know. I don't think anything above and beyond that really.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I know. There was something I wanted to mention not long ago, and this is in your AAA creators. I don't know if it was a one-time thing, or if you wanted to try to get into a rhythm of doing it, but you're like, okay, I'm going to do a page a day.
Yeah, I tried that for like 2 days. Yeah.
I mean, that's seriously like, if you put aside like say 2 hours, like, okay, 2 hours is not impossible to scratch out of an average day.
Yeah.
Um, and if you said, okay, if I have to do a page in 2 hours, I could make that happen. What if I push myself and try to do like, you know, just like weekdays, so 5 pages a week. It's not impossible, because I sort of have this project in mind that I really want to get to. Another thing that will get me into some of uh, doing comic pages on a regular basis, and I know, like, um, when you were doing, what is it, Lone Star,
Yeah. Lone Wolf.
um, Lone Wolf, yeah, I don't know, Lone Star, where'd that come from?
That's okay.
Um, that you wanted to like simplify your style at that point for those pages,
Hmm.
and so I'm thinking, well, if I can cut out 2 hours a day 5 days a week, and sort of simplify my approach, like the pages I did for the 100th anthology, I did them pretty much at comic book size, so we're not talking about 11 by 17 pages. um, I was like, it could be doable. It could be doable. And I got this comic idea that I want to try it with, which is like sort of monster of the week story. Um, that I mentioned on this channel before, but like it's sort of a comic book serial kind of thing where um, it's not heavy story. It's not anything super challenging visually.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to churn out pages. Like I love artists like Ron Lim is a great example. Um, there's Jack Kirby. There's also even John Byrne was doing a lot of books at one time. Um, and I'm sure you could think of people yourself, like just artists who have done multiple books at any point in their career.
Yeah.
Um, and um, it's what's the saying? How's the saying go? Like, uh, if you want to get faster, then you focus on your speed, and then eventually, like the quality of the work will catch up to it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking along those lines, like maybe I should just do this little side project because I want to get into a rhythm of all aspects of creating pages, which I have no um, want or need to become a letterer, but I do want to get more familiar with the mechanics because I do want to do a couple of web comics too.
Yeah.
Um, so I figured, like doing that, I could pretty much do 20 of this particular story, and that I mean, I'm thinking along the lines of you know putting out more content, uh, possibly generating more money as well coming in. Because I know I gotta focus more on bringing more money in because I can't be constantly distracted by. It's like I don't want a day job. I don't. I want to put all my effort into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um, but it always seems like I run into the same thing all the time. It's like eventually I gotta get I gotta take another gig on, or I gotta find money somewhere, and um, I don't want to take on more work of somebody else's. Why not create more work for my of my own?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, you know. I mean, I think those same things, and it's funny that you bring up like kind of trying to do a different kind of comic to make the page a day thing work. And I was actually thinking about that today. I'm like, well, you know, because when I said that, I was like, all right, let me try it, and I was trying it on Big Wrath. The problem with Big Wrath is the way I approach Big Wrath is I'm just trying to make the best comic I can. That I'm trying to hit like an old school. Well, I shouldn't say not even old school. I mean, to me, it's just what it is. But like an Image type of like an old Image comic from the beginning of Image. Like I'm trying
Right.
to kind of play in that realm the best I can. So I can't put out a page of that in a day because I'm just not quick enough. I'm not skilled enough, and I don't have enough time. Um, and uh, what I found out when I was trying to do a page a day doing that, I got like 3 panels done at best. Sometimes it'd be like one panel, and so it was like Okay, so that's not going to work. But I was thinking about that today. Like, well, if I know that I can do it if I do what I was doing when I did my first, second, and third Glyph mini comics, because I was pumping out more than a page a day sometimes, pretty easily. Well, I shouldn't say easily. I was working hard, but I don't know. It seemed easier because I wasn't focused on making the best art I could. I was just focused on getting the comic done. Um, so on that level, I can. So maybe there's a middle ground, where I can do that. But honestly, I was going to do that challenge, and I tried it, and I think that was one thing I did that was smart. Actually, was I didn't really announce it so much. Like I kind of told a few people. You apparently were one of them,
Right?
and I think I told like the Discord or whatever. And like,
Yeah,
but I didn't announce it and do like a video like I'm doing a page a day. Like
right.
I, I gave myself like a week to try it out, and I didn't even get through the week. So
Yeah, well, I think for anybody who would attempt something like that, like the thing is to do, just put in the time, put in, your 5 days. If you do 3 panels in one day, then you did 3 panels in one day. Just, almost like start each day with a fresh new page and see what you accomplish. And then, um, and keep doing that until you hit your goal. Essentially, like, if
yeah,
you're a runner, you're not going to run 35 miles day one. You're going to work up to it.
right,
So look at it like that. Like, what they say is like it's a sprint, not a marathon. Well, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I don't know.
yeah,
But you work up towards really where you want to be. You're not going to be there day one or day two. And yeah, I might consider that. Um, I have to wrap my head around, like, I love freaking detail, so I have to wrap my head around maybe a style or approach that will get me there. Like,
yeah.
some,
Well, the thing that kind of sparked that was, I keep hearing Tom McFarlane and talking about stuff, and he always says like he's like, there's no such thing as a fast or slow artist. There's no that's not a thing. What it is the artist who gets their butt in the chair and works on a page and does a page a day, and they just sit there. If it takes them 13 hours, they spend 13 hours on it. If it takes them 5 hours, they spend not 5 hours on it, and then they're done. So it doesn't matter. They sit their butt in the chair and they do it. It's not fast or slow. Like some pages take longer, some pages take shorter. And you know, Todd McFarlane says a lot of things, but like but there's some truth to that, I think. But you got to take most of what he says with a little bit of a grain of salt.
yeah. So we have Gibran in the chat. Welcome, Gibran.
Hello,
Sorry
hello.
you got shadow banned out of chats.
Good old, good old internet. Good thing Google's watching over us.
Yeah. And Anna says either you're building your own dream or you're getting hired to build somebody else's.
I love that. It's so true.
So sometimes people's dreams align or work experience carries over. And EJ says, but 3 panels a day at your best current quality is way better than less than 1 panel a day. Yeah, I mean, it's like if you it's like I remember like what's the guy's name? Silvestri, Mark Silvestri.
Hmm.
Um, his work at Marvel on Wolverine. I used to look at that. I was like, okay, I see this guy is talented, but these pages look super rushed. Like, there's no fine detail. It's all like almost like splashes of ink across a page. But meanwhile, I mean, those were, finished pages. It was just his approach at the time for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it was because he was rushing through it or because that was just his style at the time. Maybe.
Yeah. It's funny because you know the image guys, the image founders, really highly regarded his art, like above all of theirs. Like they all said he's the best one here. And while at the same time, people are clamoring for Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane way more than they are for Silvestri, like as an audience, as audiences, and Jim Lee and things like that. Now, I was like, well, I don't really know about that. Like, yeah, I like his stuff. I like Cyberforce and stuff, and I was collecting Wolverine when he was doing that as well. And Cyberforce was really cool, but Wolverine was I didn't actually like the art. It was pretty boring actually. And what I found out way later is apparently, a friend of mine said this to me, and it makes sense. I don't know if this is true, but it makes sense. And he said some people are just better at drawing team books than single character books, and some vice versa. And that might be true because the things I've like when I've seen him do, X-Men or something, those things look really cool. But Wolverine, not so much.
It's definitely a different kind of skill set, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's part of it. He does seem, uh, his style lends more towards a team book.
Hmm.
Um, but it's like I do know he's been working on a Batman story. It seems like for the past 3 years or whatever, and
Hmm.
he's sort of doing his Bernie Wrightson imitation umpus of Batman or something or another. Um, it's like really detailed stuff and really gorgeous. Um, but I mean, Mark Silvestri, in many ways, like Todd McFarlane, really excelled. I mean, they're both great artists, but Mark Silvestri excelled in business in the sense of Top Cow was the highlight of Image for a long, long, long time. You know, they put out quality books. The books came out on time. They probably had more books than all the other guys combined.
Yeah,
They had a huge success with The Darkness and Witchblade and other things.
yeah. Some of their books were
I
the
always
most highly regarded as far as quality of writing and art at the same time. From
yeah, I really look towards Top Cow as like, okay, if I'm ever going to do something similar, I want to be like these guys
hmm,
because they know what they're doing to a certain extent, and they are quality, and they get stuff done on time, and yeah, they were like really focused on getting good writers on their books and good artists, and Michael Turner made a name for himself over there.
yeah, a lot of people did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always noticed that their quality was generally better than at least the stuff you might see from like Extreme Studios. Uh, but I still you know, I don't know. For me, it wasn't super exciting to me. They were just doing kinds of books I'm not really that into. I like the fun books, you know. I don't like the ones that look, you know, dark and serious. You know, I'm not a Batman fan.
Yeah,
Everything that is similar. It's not
right.
like
Yeah,
I can dig it a little bit for a little while, but it's not something that I always go to quickly, you know.
yeah.
But if
No,
that's what you like, it's totally cool.
okay. Well, they're better than Rob Liefeld. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, definitely. Even Rob says that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
um. So you probably don't have Amazon Prime.
I do have it.
You do have it. Okay. Um. Do you know a show called the what is it? The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
Sure do. I've
What do you
watched
think of it?
I watched all of the episodes up to a certain point, but I don't know if I'm caught up or not at the moment. Um,
It's
but
three
yeah,
seasons.
I mean I love it. I mean to me it I was already on board because it was created by the same creator of Gilmore Girls, and as unmanly as it is, that's one of my favorite shows in the world. um, so so you know I was already on board, and once again she knocked it out of the park. Like that's a really cool show in my opinion.
It, I'm, it's like I watched the episode a while back and finally said, "Oh, let me, sit down and watch this." I know I loved like the first episode. I think I watched part of the second episode. I was like, okay, let me, get this time and sit and watch it. And yeah, I'm all caught up. It's three seasons so far. I
Mm,
just think um, it's so well written and well produced and well directed, and it's like all the above. I just love the pacing of it. It's like, the story is simplistic terms. The story is a woman who wants to become a comedian,
hmm
and the timing of just like the regular dialogue is all spot on. It's like bam, bam, bam,
Yeah,
and I freaking love it. She's great. Like there's two dads in the show. One is Monk Tony Shaleb, um, and Kevin Pollock is the other dad, and they're hilarious.
yeah,
All the actors are great.
yeah, yeah. I'm a fan, and you know that's the thing with what's her name? I think Amy Sherman. She's like one of these three name people. Amy Sherman Palladino, I think, is the name of the writer.
Yeah,
Um, and you know, she just writes amazing dialogue. It's always hilarious and just just fun. And I think that's why I mean I know that's why I like Gilmore Girls because it's funny because I used to make fun of my wife and her mom because they used to always watch Gilmore Girls, and I'm like, I would come in on it. I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Here's Dialogue Girls, and so that's why I would call it Dialogue Girls. And eventually, you know, was there enough times where I was like, this is actually pretty awesome. So, and she writes the same way, really, for the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
yeah. Uh, well, I mean that's funny because I didn't know she was the one behind Gilmore Girls, and I watched some of that. I think more of the first season than anything else. Um, and I remember liking it. You know, um, it's like some things I just try. just to
Yeah.
see what else is out there. I mean,
Well,
it's
my
pretty much
my wife and her mom were like obsessed with it, so it was always on. So, I
yeah.
couldn't really get away from it, even if I wanted to. And eventually I just got hooked too, where to the point where I've seen all. I don't know. There's like 9 seasons or 7 seasons. I've seen them all.
Wow.
Probably 15 times, and I memorize. I have the episodes basically memorized. Like, it's like comfort food. Like, you just like
Yeah.
if I want to get into like a comfortable place, I can just pop that on. There's a lot of things like that too, but I don't really
Yeah.
watch much TV anymore though.
I watch too much, especially lately,
Yeah.
since we can't do anything else.
Can't go anywhere. Can't do anything. I've been
Yeah.
doing. I went to the beach for 4 days the other day.
That's right. How was your vacation?
It was good. It rained. It wasn't actually the greatest weather, but it was my aunt's cottage, and so I just hung out with family and stuff. And I got like 2 good beach days in, and one day it rained, and the other day it was like not the greatest, but we were outside a lot anyway. Still, so it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was good to be away from work for a couple days. I want to be away from there for more days. I came back. I came back and I changed my password on the computer, and I'm like, I don't know. It's just funny because like I put it something that basically says I don't want to work here.
uh,
So I was
so
just like,
a little reminder to yourself, like
yeah,
maybe I
yeah.
should.
I was like, what
Well,
can
okay.
I do would be?
Yeah, it's funny. That reminds me of something else I wanted to mention. Um, Back when you had longer hair, you had a purpose for a while, and
Yeah,
I
that
missed
one got
I
banned
missed the
into
transition. Yeah.
that one got abandoned too. I mean, how long was I going to go before if I would really waited till I had a career to cut it off? Like, I mean, it was already like close to the middle of my back. So if my
Yeah.
hair wasn't so curly, it would have been way longer too. So I don't know. I
I mean
just got tired of it.
that's sort of a challenge yeah, I mean you kind of take on when you know you're close. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'm gonna
wanted
try.
to while I was close. The thing is I know that this is so. I know so much. Like I know more than I know anything that it's possible. Like it's very possible.
Yeah.
I know because I see friends who do that. I have. We both have mutual friends who do that.
Yep.
In
Yep.
some ways, you kind of do that sometimes. And like
Yeah.
so it's totally possible, and right now it's even more possible than it ever was in my situation. So that's why I'm saying I'm gonna get serious. I've always been serious about it, but it's like time to really put the whatever, I don't know, put the rubber to the road, or something to the pavement and do it.
Pedal to the middle.
There you
Um,
go. That's a good one.
well, yeah, I mean, it's like with Kevin Cross, like say, like, um, me and Jeff has spoken to Kevin a bunch of times, and a lot of us think like if Kevin was to just drop a Kickstarter tomorrow, he has such a following that's invested in his career, and that you know we all think like, oh yeah, he's a shoe in. Like his Kickstarter would kick off and do
Yeah.
phenomenal. I tend
Yeah.
to think the same about you. I think
That, well,
if you put
thank
out
you. I don't know if I'm quite at Kevin cross status, but definitely not skill status. But I appreciate that. And the thing is I do agree to a certain extent. Like I don't really know. Like I still feel nervous, of whether it would, because you
Yeah.
never know. Sometimes you think you got something and you do it and it's a dud. Um, so I don't know for sure, but that is why part of why like I'm like I need to really starting means a crowdfunder. Like that to me is that's the way it works now. That's the
Yeah.
really the best route. There's other ways you can do it. I'm not saying it's the only way, but it's a really good way right now. And I want to get in while there's still some getting in to be got, because I'm thinking there's some bigger creators are starting to realize, and not even just creators, but even the big two and stuff are flirting with the ideas of crowdfunding. And you know, once they get in the game, I'm curious what will happen. Actually, it's interesting because I guess Scott Snyder's got one going right now, and it's up at 100K. But you know, I don't know that it's gonna go. Like I think they're projecting it'll go to like 1 million, but like I don't know if it will
Right.
necessarily go to that, because just because you're obviously like a superstar creator doesn't necessarily mean that you'll do well. Like even Rob Liefeld did one and it was a dud.
Was
McFarlane
it?
did one and he knocked it out of the park. So I don't know. We don't really know all the
Yeah.
facts, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's not necessarily like, oh, I can imagine it's going to go to 100,000 K or whatever. It's like I think you'll do well enough to where you can make some moves in your lifestyle. You know.
Yeah. Well, for me, the way I look at it, this really actually dawned on me when I was talking to Peter Samedi. I think it was actually live during the show, but we also talked afterwards a bit. But you know, is that it's that kind of slow start. You can't go at your first crowdfunder and think, okay, I'm going to get 100K or something like that.
Right.
Like, or
Yeah.
there's people doing way more than that. Like, I can't think about those people because that's not where I'm at. But I can think about, I can do a small one, and I just want to get to the place where I can pay for the printing. And who knows, maybe if I have a little extra, I can put that in a bank account and, use that towards the next project or something. So that's kind of where my head's at right now. If it gets bigger, it gets bigger. If not, but this will be the first of many Kickstarters. And I feel like or I always say Kickstarter again, first of many crowdfunders. And I think that is like the thing is like continuing to build and deliver and build and deliver and build and deliver. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
having that amount to something later, I think is at least the route I'm planning on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you look at it like, your YouTube channel. You didn't get 100 views on your first video on day one. It took a little bit, and then it was
Yeah,
1,000 views. Then it was.
yeah, 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 totally. I mean, I've definitely done plenty of slow build things before, so I definitely get it.
Let's see. Crimson says, Marshall, don't sell yourself short. You have the skills and the support. You can do it, buddy.
Thanks, thanks, dude. Ronnie's my boy. He's. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. And Gibran, aka Diana, I feel that my failure is coming soon to Indiegogo, but failing is the step towards success.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's no better way to success than failure, and I'm not being sarcastic either. Like that's the way it works.
Absolutely.
The people who don't risk failure are the people who don't ever succeed. So
So, would you are you working on something right now? You want to show people what
no,
you're
I'm
working
not working. I was looking up eBay things for Uncanny X-Men runs. 'Cause, I was thinking like I always like I go into these shops. They have like these collections of comics, and I really want to read some of like the Claremont runs and get into some of the Bronze Age stuff. And
right.
um and I'm like, the only thing is I pick up these collections and they're always either in black and white or they're like recolored and it's this flat, crappy color. And I just I can read it like that, but I really just want to see it the way it was printed. Like that's how I want to see
Yeah.
it. So I want to see if I can collect some of the runs, or somehow put together my own runs. And a lot of comic shops aren't really doing the back issue thing these days, and because of COVID, so I can't really jump into
Yeah.
that too much. And I don't know. I just maybe I could call a comic shop and say, "Hey, can you put together like some low grade Uncanny X-Men runs for me, and I'll come and pick them up." That's a good idea. I should do that. It's probably cheaper than
Yeah.
eBay.
Probably. Um, I know there's comic stores out there like that are back issue focused that probably have good runs. Um, I know what was it? Uncanny X-Men issue 360. I actually got credit on. I
Really?
forget who. I forget who was writing it. I don't know if it was Claremont or Scott Waddell. I don't know. Somebody back
Who was
when.
the pencil?
God, I don't even remember that. Um,
Would you say 309?
no, 360.
360?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let us find out.
Um,
It's all right. Uncanny X-Men 360. Hey, 360. That's an easy number to remember.
yeah, that's why I remember it.
Oh, it looks like um it's oh, so this is later on. These are creators I don't really know actually. Very
Yeah,
well.
I mean the reason I'm
The art looks really cool. It's not bad. I don't know them.
I know it was a bunch of people, and I was one of a group of inkers on the book,
Yeah.
and it was probably more than
Yeah,
a regular
they make
sized issue. Yeah,
it looks like it's got Chris Bacalo, um, which I wonder if that's the art. Yeah, it's got a lot of people. It's interesting. That's pretty cool,
yeah,
man. So cool to like, I don't know. I think it would be fun to have some of those books under my belt like you do.
well, I mean, I
Just
wish I
being a
could
part
say,
of it.
hey, I inked the whole issue, but it's like I inked a couple of random pages.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. But just to
uh,
be a part of it and stuff, and the fact that your
oh
name is in the
yeah,
credits, movie, that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah, it's nice. It's like I've inked plenty where I didn't get credit and wish I did. So
Mm.
wherever it shows up, it's good.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't know. I want to collect some different runs. What do you still have a collection of comics like outside, like from when you were growing up, or are they all gone?
They are all gone. It's like I kept a copy of everything I worked on. But I moved away from New York in 2006, and I gave everything to friends. I gave
Mm,
everything away because I pretty much traveled to Kentucky with what I could carry because I took the
Oh,
bus
wow.
and just I had two portfolios and one suitcase of clothes. It's like I literally got rid of everything.
Wow. Have you
Uh,
ever, is that a story you've ever told, or is that too personal?
no, I mean that's the story. I just
I mean, was there an impetus, like, or
I mean yes and
you
no.
were like,
You know, it's
screw the center of comics. I'm going to Kentucky and gonna start a career.
Kentucky is where the comics are at. No,
Yeah.
no.
My
Uh,
imagination is probably from a big breakup that you don't want to talk about.
um. Well, yeah. I mean, I was kind of had an extended one night stand, but at the time, but
Mm.
no. I mean, it was more like I've run out of places to live in New York, and I knew, um, like New York was too expensive to live. At that point, my father passed away way back in '88, but my mom passed away in 2006,
Um,
and me and my brother sort of had a very short conversation. Like, when mom passes, I don't think I'm staying in New York, and I pretty much agreed. Um, so it was kind of like my two oldest brothers were already out of New York. Um, and Mander found what would be their home in Florida. So I'm not sure. He still had his apartment in New York. Well, in Brooklyn, Jimmy, my brother.
yeah.
But they bought that house in Florida and moved there. I'm not sure if that was before or after I moved, but it was the intent to move out of New York. Because it was just is too expensive, um,
New York,
especially if you're
because
in
of
comics.
New York, because of expenses, has kicked a lot of people out. So you're definitely not alone. Um,
Yeah.
do you what made you pick Kentucky?
Um, a good friend of mine who is, I met online and we did a project together, and he was just a good friend at the time. Had a place in Bardstown, Kentucky,
Hmm.
and it was him, his wife, and two boys. And he was like, "You can come here and live here until you get your own place and set up and all that." So I mean, I was literally thinking, okay, I have all the options in the world. I want to move out of New York. I can go anywhere. And I thought about it, thought about it, thought about it, and it's like, well, there's very, very few places I know outside of New York. Um, so everything would be sort of throwing a dart at a map. I thought, why not? Let me try Kentucky. And I stayed with him and his family for a little bit. Found my own apartment, and I was in Bardstown for 2 years. I went to Louisville for a couple of years, and I wound up where I am now in Campbellsville, which is just like another small town. Um, because I met Lisa online, and we started a relationship, and eventually it got to a point where, hey, why don't you come live here? So that's why I moved specifically to Campbellsville, and yeah, I just wound up staying here. It's like, I'm not saying it's the best place in the world, but it's definitely cheap, and it's like I like the country in the city now. It's like I would love to live in New York, but only if I made six figures. It's like
Right.
to really enjoy New York, you gotta have the money, and I'm not really money hungry right now, so I'll enjoy the country. Thank you.
So, what have you thought of moving to Florida ever since you got family there?
Um, well, I went there in January. First
Hmm.
time me and my family got together in years, and I did spend what was it, like 3 days, 4 nights there. I gotta say, it's nice. It's not perfect though.
No,
Um,
not
it's
perfect,
sort
but
of like no, nothing's perfect, but I mean it's like you got your year long residence, right?
hmm.
And then all these random hotels and I don't know, cheap housing are popping up because it's all tourist town.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like a hodgepodge. Like my brother and his wife got a good spot. They're actually walking distance from where her parents live. And my other brothers are like in different areas, but still driving distance away. I don't know. I don't think I would love it year round because
Yeah,
I love the cooler weather more than the warmer weather.
yeah,
I'll admit it was really comfortable. It was January, and we were walking around the streets, checking out restaurants, um, and it was really really nice. We went to the beach, and it's not cold. It's nice. It's comfortable.
hmm,
um, but I know the summers would kill me
yeah,
because I mean the summers here kill me, but
right.
you have to 10x it or something, if you're
Hmm.
going to live in Florida. And I can't stand bugs, and there's just more of that over there too.
Yeah, bugs are not fun. Um,
Yeah.
so that's interesting. So do you think you're here to stay, in Kentucky, or do you think you'll be moving somewhere eventually, or
I mean, who can say? But uh, I will say if it's up to me, I'll probably stay.
just so
Uh,
you know, I'll let you know it is up to you.
is it up to me? I thought I was, well, I say up to me in the sense of like, I'm kind of on again, off again, seeing somebody, but I don't think that's really going to go anywhere. I don't know. So really, like, I might live somewhere else for the right person, is what I'm saying, I guess.
Gotcha.
But that hasn't come up at the moment, so we'll see. If I had the money, I would go, like out in the country and buy 10 acres with a house on it.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, right now, all I'm looking to do is upgrade my existence. Rent a house and have more room for like my studio, and have a backyard for the cats, and just better living conditions.
It's up to the cats. You're gonna live there forever. Well, that's cool, man. That's good that you feel you have, like, some sense of contentment where you're at. Um, I think
Yeah,
contentment is a good thing. You know.
yeah. It's like I lived in Brooklyn, and it's like most of my youth I spent hanging out in Manhattan. Um, and in the night back in the '90s, it was running around Manhattan a lot, going to Mall in DC, and that, it's sort of, I had that experience. Um, and I was a messenger before I got into comics, so I definitely was surrounded by billions of people. It's like now I want to I want to look outside my front door and not see my neighbor. you
Interesting.
know, it's like I don't hate people, but I
Yeah,
just
you
want to.
do. That's the name of the show. Peter Palmiotti hates people.
I just want to deal with them on my own,
Terms.
terms.
Yeah. It's true though. Like when you're in the city and stuff, like you can't get away, and yeah, I get it. Trust me, even at work, like half the time, like today I was at work and freaking one of the customers was like, they just put in an order, so I was like, okay, it's gonna take me like a couple minutes to pick the order, and so they just stand over the cart and follow me as I go through the aisles. And I'm like, I'm not talking to them because I don't feel like talking to them. It's like it was literally the beginning of my day, and I'm like, I barely have wiped the sleep out of my eyes. Like, get away from me, like. And I'm like, and it's not like I'm around a lot of people at work or anything, like generally, but this guy just decided that he wanted to follow me around, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I kind of like that I work alone a lot. We're actually going to be getting a new person. We're going to be hiring somebody to work in the warehouse with me, and I want that because I don't want to have to do everything myself all the time. But at the same time, I will miss my mornings of just it being me and not having anybody bother me, because they will bother me because they're going to come to me and ask me, where's this, what's this, dude, how, because I'm like the one who kind of runs the place over there, so it's like it's going to be frustrating, but whatever. I'm kind of like that though too. I'm like, I don't want to be around people sometimes.
Yeah. Cats don't talk back.
Yeah,
Or they
no,
they do, but I don't really understand
that's funny. Yep, good old cats. What would we do without cats?
it. Well, life would be easier, but I mean, it's just we got into this cat thing. I would have never imagined. It's like I've had cats growing up. I had one when I was really young. And when I was really young, I had allergies against cats, but somehow I had a cat. Um, and then I
Never
had,
had.
when I was living on my own after I moved out of my home, I had a cat for a while, and you know, it was like then I didn't have a cat, and that was fine, and no big deal. I'm young and running around, and I don't have time to really have a pet. um, but yeah, it's something about me and Lisa got together, and we were together for at least a little while, and you know the stray came to our door, and while the original cat that came into our home wasn't there very long, it started us on a slippery slope.
Oh goodness. Yeah. Well, better you than me, I guess. I haven't had a cat in my life for a while, and I don't know. I like the cats, but they can be
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. It's like anything. It's an expense. It's time. It's you know distraction sometimes.
Yeah, totally. Oh goodness. Well, now you got me drawing. I'm drawing. Yay!
There you
Doing
go.
something somewhat productive. I just scrolled through my phone. Um, you you ever see the Geico commercials with I don't know. There's a no, it's not Geico. Is it Geico? What is it? No, no, AT&T. AT&T commercials. There's a girl on that who's like the person who talks to the customers. I don't know. She's kind of cute. And so I looked her up, and she has like this YouTube, like a YouTube show where she actually does comedy. And
Yeah.
she has this YouTube show she did with this other girl comedian, and it's really funny. It's like super awkward and awesome, and they have some famous people sometimes on it, and I don't know, it's pretty cool.
I get it. I gotta check it out. I don't know. Like, um, I don't have cable, so
Hmm.
I have Amazon Prime. I have Netflix, um, and just whatever is free online. So I don't watch commercials, but when I go over to Lisa's, she has cable, and I see commercials and whatnot. And I
Yeah,
know there's new AT.
I mean, I've seen her before from like other times where I've been in a place where there's commercials because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And I was reminded of it actually this past weekend when I was at my aunt's house and it was raining, and or at my aunt's cottage and it was raining. So then I was like, oh yeah, I remember her. She's cute. What's her name? And then I looked her up and I'm like, oh, she has a YouTube channel. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
I like uh did you watch the new Battlestar Galactica?
no.
No. Okay. Well, is this actress Katie Sackhoff? She's
Mhm.
from that. She was in Riddick. She's in a bunch of stuff. Um, but I like her as an actress,
Mhm.
and I came across her YouTube channel and fell in love with it because
That's all.
she's like geeky and goofy, and
Mhm.
she's just hysterical. Um,
That's cool.
and she's done a lot of different sort of, she's done some live stuff. Her and a boyfriend, and um, like live Q&A. She's done a lot of workout videos.
Mhm.
Um, then she has like seasons of her show, which I mean, she hasn't been on YouTube that long, but
Right.
uh, I I enjoy watching her talk,
Cool.
and she's just, yeah, she's pretty hysterical. Then the most hated actress, um, Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She started a YouTube channel recently. She has four
Mhm.
videos, and she has more dislikes than anything else. It's like I kind
Wow.
of feel bad because as an actress, I love her work. Um, but she sort of went off the rails with whatever she was trying to you know
Yeah.
talk about with Captain Marvel and all that. But it's too
She
bad.
I tried to watch Captain Marvel again. I don't know, a couple months ago, and it just couldn't do it. It's tough.
It's a good movie, but yeah, I mean, I tried myself because it's like I really like that movie. Let me sit down and watch it again, and just couldn't get into it.
Yeah. I didn't think it
Um,
was a good movie, but hey, to each his own. I wanted it to be good. Like I wasn't rooting for it to be bad. Um, so, but yeah, I don't know. It's. I'm not saying it's like horrible necessarily, but I don't know. Go watch Alita.
yeah, I mean, Marvel has done better movies.
Yeah.
It's like one movie I can't stop watching, which is Thor Ragnarok.
Oh
I think
yeah.
that
Is that the one with Hulk or no?
yeah,
Oh yeah, that's a cool one. I've seen that one a couple times.
It may not be like the best out of all of them,
It's
but it's the
entertaining
one
though. A lot of people like it.
yeah, I can easily just sit back and watch it and just enjoy it every time.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a
it's
good one.
just packed with good stuff.
Yeah, I
Um,
like especially the first um uh Galaxy, whatever the Galaxy one.
Guardians
I
of the
can't.
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, they're both good though. I like them both, but yeah, that first one's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like I was watching a part of it not too long ago, and it's like I forgot how good the first one was.
Yeah,
It was so good because it's like it has to be because I'm not going to believe this cast of characters. Why do I care about any of them? One's a tree, one's a raccoon. It's like what is this?
yeah. I remember too. Like I don't usually, do this, but I saw that one multiple times in the theater. Like when it came out, I think I might even have seen it three times. Not so much because I like had to go see it, but like different people wanted to see it, and I just went along with them.
Right.
So
That's always fun.
yeah, I thought it was a good one. I like the Iron Man ones. I forget which ones I like more than the other ones, but I think the second one was. I feel like I remember that one was really good, but I can't remember. I like the whole series of Iron Mans, especially after watching the last Avengers movie. I automatically went back and like watched them, and I'm like
Oh.
crying and box stitching.
Yeah. It, each one of them has something to deliver in, like sort of the mythos of Tony Stark, Iron Man, and
Yeah,
um, I I like them all to a certain degree. I think the second one for me was the weakest,
yeah, it
um,
might have been. I
but
can't
still
remember.
it does deliver on certain things. Um, but it's like I have a special place in my heart for the third one because that's Shane Black. Yeah, I really like some of his other work, so I'm probably a little, blind to the actual how bad it is or whatever. But
Well, a lot of people, I think that was the one where it's like a lot of people were telling me it sucked or whatever, and I watched and I was like, that was actually really good. Like the was that was the one with the Mandarin, right?
um,
Or was that the second one?
I want to. No, the second one was a Whiplash.
Yeah,
Was
that third one was the one with the Mandarin.
I want to say yes.
And the
It's like
thing was,
it's
is
been a while.
everybody hated. I think everybody hated that movie because it wasn't like the Mandarin that they wanted, and I get
Yeah.
that, but I don't even know who the Mandarin is, or like so to me it was like I wasn't expecting anything. So the Mandarin worked in my opinion the way it was, even though it was kind of like a sham, and the goofiness of it was okay to me, and there was actually a really good story there, like with Tony and what he was going through, and he really got put through the ringer in that one. And I don't know, like it's actually if you disregard whatever preconceived things you have about the Mandarin, I think you can enjoy that movie. Like
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's it's sort of it's sort of set up for like disappointment because yeah, it's like if anybody's a fan of the um Mandalorian, what am I saying?
Mandarin.
Um yeah, if anybody's a fan of the villain, then they're going to be highly disappointed. But um yeah, you know, that's okay. It's more about everything else in that movie.
Yeah.
Um, I wish they. I forget exactly if Pepper loses her ability. I forget, like, if they addressed it in Endgame. Like, she sort of had a suit. She no longer had those melting powers or fire powers or whatever the hell that was all about. But
Mm.
it's like some things they ignore. And it's like, well, that's irritating. Why can't you
Yeah.
just like
Address it
just
somehow.
acknowledge it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably never gonna really get away from that kind of thing, anyways, even in the comics and whatnot. So,
Yeah. True.
what else? I don't know. Is there what's going on with Marvel movies? Is I don't even know if anything's come out this year or what.
Um, the next Marvel movie is Black Widow.
Yeah.
Well, because of COVID, it's
Yeah.
really like Endgame was the end of the Marvel universe, the movie universe. Um, they were supposed to have the Disney Plus Marvel TV shows,
Yeah.
and those got delayed. They actually have like episodes done, but I guess they're waiting for the whole season to be done. Which my thought is like, really have done,
Mhm.
you know, because I'm sure fans will eat it up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
understand that they have to wait for the rest of the season.
Right.
But yeah, the Black Widow is next, which looks pretty good. Um, you know, we know what happened with the characters, so this is a prequel.
Yeah. When is that Indiegogo drop date, Marcelino Rodriguez? Um, I don't know. I don't know. I just started talking about it or thinking about it like a half an hour before this stream. so, but I will say that it's gonna happen sooner than later. I I was looking at the a certain factor of what the way I want to print it, and if I want to print it a certain way, then I have to like get it done like this week, like
Oh boy!
like get it print ready like in about a week. So either that's not going to be something I can do, or maybe I won't do a crowdfunder, but I'll still print it, or I don't know, because I really want to be able to print and ship it this before the end of the year, and that it's going to be a little tough because we only got 4 months. So, I mean, it
Well,
certainly can be done with other ways to print it. So I have to weigh my options. But the way I want to print it, there's kind of a 3 month thing where you have to kind of wait, or you have to have it ready
uh,
3 months in advance. So I'm
is that
probably
China?
dropping them hints. No, it's not. It's not China. It's American. 100% American. I think it's 100% American. I don't know. I could be
Oh,
wrong. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
okay. Well, there's like Ninja Print or something. Anyway, they like they give you a good discount, but then you have to wait like 3 months to get the book shipped to you, something like that,
Yeah.
or a long amount of time. But I mean,
But technically, I probably like could prepare a comic in a week because I'm working with stuff that I've already created. So it just has to do with getting the files print ready. And, I really would have loved to have put something special and new in there, that I just create now, but it might be worth it to still do it. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, a lot of stuff there's stuff that I've created that maybe not too many people have seen. So it's like that might be kind of cool to put in there. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works. But it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be cool no matter what you do. It's like if you're putting out your work, then I'll be excited.
So will I. But thank you. I'm glad you were excited. So coming soon to Indiegogo near you.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yep, it will be. I guess. I hope.
Well, once again, thanks to everybody who showed up in the chat today. I know we had a lot more folks not too long ago. I've been keeping an eye on it. But thank you, everyone.
Cool. I
It's
did
always,
draw something. I don't know if we can see it here. Probably not. Oh, there we go.
there you go.
There we go.
She's cute.
I hope. Well, my drawing isn't as cute as she actually is, but yeah, I think so. I forgot what her name is, but
Wow.
it's hard. There's so many people's names and stuff,
It's too many people to keep track of.
Too many people in the world.
Uh, I know what you mean, man. So I'm just happy when I wake up and I remember my name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there being too many people in the world is, you know, that means there's plenty of people to buy our comics.
There you go.
So let's make it happen.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's like I want to get Retro out this year. I want to get a couple other books. Maybe four. Four would be my minimum of what I want to accomplish this year. I'm really not happy with the way things have been going the last couple of months, but at least I could blame COVID. I don't know. It's like,
Not happen.
damn you. Nah, it's like I'm just trying to be productive, I guess. Just move forward.
Yeah. That's what you gotta do, man. You gotta just keep moving forward. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was listening to as a guy, mostly guys and one girl, on a show this morning called Indie Vault.
Yeah.
Like there's different communities of indie creators, and I've been aware of some of these people for a long time, and I checked out an episode this morning, and I think I'm going to be on their show next week. I get a confirmation. I'll talk about it if I do.
And
But I mean, the woman on it is her name's Daphne. Daphne. I forget her
Hmm.
last name, but I've known probably really early on when I started working on comics, like back in the '90s, when she was just a young girl working on her comic, and I used to see her all the time at New York Comic Cons and stuff, and now she's sort of part of this show that these people do, and um, one guy is it's Randy Zimmerman. I know his name. I can't place if he's an artist or an inker. I might have seen him for decades now too. He's an older gentleman. Um, then there's Rob Anderson.
Hmm.
It goes by Rob Anderson.
Does he go
SIN.
by Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Anderson with an SIN.
Oh, okay.
But
You know
he's
from
like,
like, the Matrix, though, Mr. Anderson.
yeah, yeah, I know. He probably hates that, but he uses it too. So, um, but yeah, it's a independent advocates. They like. I think they all got their hands in different things, and
Gross.
it's just good to see these communities that are sort of flourishing and growing outside
Yeah.
of like what we're a part of and what we're doing and all that.
Oh, yeah. I love connecting with all the different communities that are out there if you get a chance, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, that's cool. Reaching out, man. I want to reach out too. I was thinking of, I'm subscribed to Sweetcast. Have you watched or heard of him? That dude?
I I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know if I ever watched it.
he does videos all the time, and he's kind of, I don't know if he's part of like Comicsgate or he's within that realm of people or whatever, but he just seems like a cool dude to chat with, and I was thinking, maybe I should ask him if he wants to come on. He's got like Indiegogos going on and stuff. I think he's like a writer, but he's pretty cool. Maybe I'll have
Cool.
him on. I need to reach out to more people, especially if I'm going to start doing Kickstarters and stuff, and you know,
Yeah.
the more the merrier.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Who else was? I was just thinking of somebody else. I forget now. There's lots of people out there. Oh. Jimmy Reyes. Do you
Hmm.
know him?
He's
Um,
is he the
YouTuber.
he's the guy who does the box office artist.
I believe it's the same guy. He goes by Page One Comics now
Hmm.
on YouTube,
Yeah.
and he does an open cast. I haven't been on his show yet, but he does a lot of streams where he just invites whoever to come on and talk about their projects, and he has like the maximum people on it. He has like 10 people on it, and um,
Nice.
it's pretty cool. It's like I think the first time I was aware that that's what he was doing, I was like, no, I'm not ready. There's too many people I don't know on this call, you know.
I've jumped into a few of those with I jumped into them with on the alternate channel and also on like Dan Fraga's channel. But it's always like nerve wracking, and like you don't really get a lot of chance to talk. It's not like you get your turn all the time, or if you do, it's like short, and people are like interrupting people. It's not the way we, tend to do it in our communities. So it's different. I feel a little more nervous in that situation, but I've
Yeah.
given it a few times.
I mean, it's really cool
Hmm.
for him to reach out, and yeah, but it can definitely be nerve wracking. I know, like, anytime I'm part of a stream that has more than 3 people,
Hmm.
um, it's seriously delayed.
Hmm.
So you are automatically talking over other people, and yeah, it's like I'm confused who's talking and what's going on, and it's not
Yeah,
like 10 people in a room talking. It's like really this whole online thing gets affected more people on a stream.
yeah.
So
Certain people can do it in a way that is interesting though and fun, so
yeah,
more more power to them, I guess. There's some of them that I just listen to and I get a kick out of. So
definitely, definitely. But yeah, I say, you know, uh, obviously you're impending Indiegogo to focus on, but I do want to touch base with you every now and then on retro, and we'll just focus on that.
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something that, like, I can do while I'm like hanging out doing a live stream or whatever. Like, that's like I just thought of like drawing this because I was like, oh well, what do I have in my phone that I can draw or whatever. Um, so I looked through pictures and I'm like, okay, those are cool. So I'm like, it's just kind of random, but like if I had something that I was actually like, because the coloring thing isn't like intense, like whereas I can do it with like things like Big Wrath, but I feel like I want to have a little more concentration when I'm doing Big Wrath and stuff. Whereas with retro, it's just a different part of the brain. Like you don't have to like I don't have to think about poses or like storytelling as much. I just have to and it would be different if I was coloring it a different way too. But you wanted like kind of the old school like flat colors, so it's really not. There's not a ton of storytelling that I can do with that. There's a little, but
Well, yeah, I mean, you can. I when I said something like 80s, they do like two tone. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
I
just
do
it's
live by
not just
that.
like everything's one flat color. It's like there's work a little work behind it, but it's still simplistic compared to today's approach.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I guess the whole point is that's something I can kind of flip on while I'm like doing a
Yeah,
stream or something. Not like I don't really like to do it when I'm hosting my own stream generally because I really want to concentrate and make sure it's a good show.
right.
Um, I mean, I have done that too. Like I've done stuff like we're doing right now on my channel too. So that's not it's possible, but the kind of streams I've been doing these days are ones where I'm like actually like trying to get to points and stuff. So
Unlike me, I don't care.
well, you've done both kinds as well. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm here hanging out with you tonight, and I'm relaxed, and
yeah,
it's like we've done more hardcore episodes, but it's like
yeah,
yeah, I just want to catch up and hang out with my buddy.
yeah, man. Nothing wrong with that. So have you been doing a lot of videos lately? I have not been keeping up with anybody's videos, so
Yeah, I started this comics and art series because I wanted to bring more focus to my channel again.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, this is episode 34, I believe. I
Wow.
gotta recheck my numbering. Um, but it was like, when Jeff started his latest 100 run, I guess is around the time I started mine,
Mm,
and you know, he was like, "Yeah, why don't you just do 100 days?" I was like, "I'm not committing to anything. I don't have any goals." At the point that I was starting this, I was like,
mm,
I just need to get into a rhythm of working,
right,
and I knew that's what I needed. So I didn't want to give myself too much pressure or focus on some other goal that really has nothing to do with anything.
right.
So, um, so yeah, I just been coming on when I can, and I talked to a number of different people, other creators and whatnot on episodes,
Hmm.
which is always fun. I think majority of them have been just solo me chatting about nothing or whatever. Um, but the main purpose to me streaming live is to work on retro and get more of that done. So that's objective achieved.
Yes, achievement unlocked.
Yeah,
Good stuff, man. I like it.
yeah, yeah. Because
I mean,
I was
I could do some more of that too. It's weird because I kind of do to a certain degree because like what I do actually is I just go into the Discord audio chat and I hang out there a lot.
right.
So I kind of still do it. It's just less public.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I want to find like really. How did I put it? Oh, sort of like um, find fellow creators or something to and start like a mini group um, of people that are like really goal oriented to keep on task with.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything's in a way everything has been a part of that, But I want to find like specific people where I could say, okay, every Thursday we get together and we just summarize where we're at and push each other kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's a principle that a lot of times like these kind of I don't know different like Dave Ramsey even who I was talking about or like some of these other like self-help people or people who kind of whatever they've talked about having these mastermind groups and stuff like that. I've heard that many times in podcasts and books and um, stuff like that, and that it's just exactly what you're talking about. It's like a weekly type of check-in, and it's the same group of people, and you might have that same group of people for 10, 20 years, or it might change too. It's really kind of up to you and how tight your group is or whatever, but it's helpful. And usually the way they kind of say it though in this what I from what I've heard is they don't it wouldn't be like necessarily a group of comic creators or a group of any specific anything. Like it would be all people from all different you know things that they do. But that's not saying that you couldn't do one that was comic creators or whatever. But I think that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you were a part of no longer anymore, but like you're not on Facebook anymore. But the originally like the reason I set up the messenger group
Mm-hmm.
um, was kind of for that purpose, um, to keep on task with, being being productive. It wasn't like hardcore thing, but um, and it's definitely evolved and morphed. Um, and now now frankly, I think a lot of people just ignore it, but show up occasionally.
Right.
Because like everything, it's like social media has changed so much, and the way we interact with social media has changed so much, and a lot of it has become nuisance more than anything. It's like, yeah, I need to focus right now. I can't be bothered by all these notifications and blah blah blah. You know,
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with all the things, for sure.
uh,
In some ways,
but
getting lost from Instagram and has been and Facebook has been a little bit of a blessing in disguise.
oh, I bet um, it's like yeah, it's like I'm torn. It's like I tell people, like, if you want to find me, I'm on YouTube
Yeah,
because I am elsewhere, but I really just want to focus on growing my YouTube and working on YouTube, and
yeah,
that's where you can chat with me and interact with me or whatever.
yeah, for sure. I kind of feel the same way.
Um, yeah, because it's like, also I think I've reached my limit for the time being, and that might be for some time. It's like I'm not interested in Snapchat. I'm not interested in TikTok
Hmm.
or whatever else. Um, as it is, like, you don't know, but like there's a new Facebook. They totally renovated the place,
Yeah,
um, and it changes the dynamics of things.
really,
Um, it's supposedly more group focused, but actually, I like the way it was set up before. It's
really.
like, they used to have a number of posts you haven't seen, and I don't see that now. So it's almost like, oh, there's no new posts because I don't see a number. You know?
Mm, mm, weird.
Yeah.
Well then, I don't know, man. Facebook is not my friend anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I think,
a lot of years spent on Facebook, and being part of something, and you know, you know, just building something, and then they just took it away
yeah.
for no reason. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah. Well, I think, thank goodness for the Discord. And, I mean, essentially, you get the larger following on YouTube, and
Yeah.
you can make do.
Hopefully they don't take those things away too.
Well, then you'll have your email and people can reach you that way. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just gotta make as much money as possible, and then when they all cancel me, I can say screw y'all, because
That's
that's all
right.
it's all about is the money, anyways. So no. If it was
Well,
about the money, then it's gone a long time ago.
yeah, for real. So we've been going over 2 hours. If there is any sites you want to drop for people to go to and check out you and your work and your future campaign.
Yeah, docjawprojects.com is the best place. Well, I need to do some work on the website there, but but you can find links and stuff there, and then obviously the YouTube channel as well. Marsh Makes Comics. Is that what it is? I think that's what it's called. But look that up, and you'll find me if you start googling stuff. And but yeah, YouTube is kind of the main place. So Twitter, I'm also on Twitter as Marsh Comics. That's like my last resort social media, so I'm there. But you know, it's it's a big fat hellhole, but it's kind of cool too. Um, so yeah, that's about it, man.
Awesome, awesome. And yeah, thank you everybody who showed up in chat and talked along. If you're watching this, give the video a like. Trying to
Yeah,
grow my channel. Slowly happening. I'm one of those that is still not at 1,000, but 700 and change, getting there.
yep,
Um, so yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Hit that bell. Yeah, I'm sort of. I'll probably be back to pretty much regularly, if not tomorrow, then this weekend. I want to come back as daily as possible, so I can work on retro and move it forward. And I will be touching base with Marshall, so we can make that happen. And yeah,
yep,
I got to start working on the production end of it.
totally.
But it's coming together nicely, I must say. I'm pretty happy with it so far, and I've already like semi plotted the next issue, so I'm ahead of myself. Um,
It's good.
but yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and thank you everybody who's supported independent creators anywhere at any time, because that makes you awesome.
Totally.
And
And thank you for having me
if
on,
you're
man.
if you're oh, my pleasure, man. It's good to catch up and chat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, and if you're watching along at home and working on your own project, and let us know about it, and we can help spread the word.